This is Nikolaos Floratos, the founder of Funding Expert Academy, as well as the creator of the Funding Expert Transformation Formula. Here, where we are here with another training episode. You can see that probably you can see that I'm in a very nice area. It's so inspiring here. Let me show you a little bit where we are, because I think it's very beautiful. You can see also an ancient pillar that was used. This is now a monastery nearby in Athens. It's a very nice place. I think it has a lot of vibes. I'm coming here sometimes and I really like it because it's quite isolated, and it's nice for me to give you my next training, where this training is going to be about how we're going to identify the most attractive call funding opportunity for our organization or for our client or for our group. Now, you know, people that have been familiar so far with my funding expert transformation formula, you know that we have the 7 habits. We call them the bundler habits, that we need to apply them every day. And on top of that, we have also 3 steps, 3 phases that we need to undertake from the initiation of a proposal up to the point that we submit. There are 3 steps. The first step is to identify the most attractive funding opportunity according to our needs and according to our capacity and resources, and we use the 5 fingers technique for that. The second phase is the I creates formula that I have already spoken in one of my other videos that I had also in a very nice scenery. And the third step is actually to learn how we are going to impress, positively of course, the evaluators with the high quality of our proposal, and we use the criteria formula for that. And this is in a snapshot what is the funding expert transformation formula. Now, what I'm going to talk about in this training is we have the 5 figures technique. And do you remember why we use the 5 figures technique? We use the 5 figures technique mainly for identifying the most funding opportunity, that we need to ask 5 questions, or we need to see them as 5 traffic lights. Well, I'm not going to talk about the first 2 fingers. I'm going to talk on the question that is on the middle finger, and that is the who. So any question that we're going to ask now is related to who, and then you will see how nicely we can understand whether this funding opportunity is something attractive for our own organization. So the who is, first of all, who is eligible? Okay. Nikos, I know some people will say, come on, you don't tell us something new. Yes, I agree. Who is eligible? Of course. The question actually on who is eligible is why we ask that on the third finger and why on the first finger or on the second finger. So we need to ask some other questions first and then who is eligible. Well, since you don't know what we ask on the thumb finger, and since you don't know what we ask on the index finger, then you will not be able to understand, but there is a reason behind it. So what I would like to say now, after the who is eligible, which as I said is an obvious question, I would like to ask a fundamental question, a very important one, which is who evaluates the program and the proposals that are going to be submitted, who is suggesting the priorities, the work program priorities that we would like to submit a proposal, and who has submitted successfully other projects similar to this funding opportunity, to this funding program. I have to repeat. We are going to ask 3 questions. The first question is, who is evaluating the proposals that are going to be submitted? The second question that I'm going to ask is, who is suggesting the work program priorities that we need to fulfill in order to submit our proposal? And the third question related to who is, who has already submitted successful proposals so far under a previous and a similar funding opportunity like this one that we are funding right now. So now let's see how important are these three questions. Because one of the key elements that we need to do whenever we're going to submit a proposal, and actually this is 60 to 40% sometimes of the success, is that we need to get feedback. Do you agree on that? I guess you do. So if you believe and if you're convinced that you need to get feedback, either on our idea or on our proposal or on our file and draft or on our consortium or on our proposal summary or on our approach in general, we need to contact some people. So the first question that we're asking is, who is an expert? Who evaluates proposals or who has evaluated proposals under this call, under this funding opportunity? And then the next question that we're going to ask, because as you know, we need to transform this who question into a traffic light, is can we approach those people that are some of those people, that are evaluating, it's my hay fever. Can we approach those people that are actually evaluating proposals under this call in order to get some feedback? Yes, no, maybe. If we get a yes, we can identify them and we can approach them, then what does that mean? That means that's a green traffic light for us. If we receive something like no, we cannot identify them or we cannot approach them, then that's a red traffic light, which means that we need to stop there. We should not continue further with that proposal if we cannot get feedback from that group of people. And if we get maybe, then that's yellow, which means, okay, we proceed with caution, but bear in mind that we need to get feedback at some stage in our proposal development cycle. So that's the first question that we address. The second one is under who has suggested these work program priorities. Is it some EC officials? Is it an advisory group? Is it some other expert? Is it some academics? I would like to see whether I can connect with them in order to see what is the reason behind this suggestion, why you have suggested these work program priorities. What was your studies that you based your suggestions? Can I look them? Can I see whether I can use this in my proposal? So can I approach that group of people in order to ask them why they have suggested this kind of work program priorities, or what were the studies that based on those studies they have actually suggested these funding priorities. You understand now the concept? And if we have that kind of information, you do understand how powerful we can be in our proposal development cycle. And the third related question to who is who has suggested, proposed a successful proposal in the past under this funding program or a similar one. And where can we find that information? From the compendia. Exactly. Where are the compendia? What are the compendia? The compendia are summaries of previously funded projects under the same call or under similar calls, and we can find the coordinators, we can find the consortium, we can find the website sometimes, we can find the contact details, so we can contact them. And we can contact them first of all for getting some feedback and trying to understand what they did well, and trying to involve them as partners in our own proposal if we want to submit a proposal under this identified call. And then, as soon as we get a yes, we can approach that group of people, the ones that have suggested successfully in the past a proposal. Then, from the compendia, we contact them. Then, we have a clear green light. If no, that's a red light, then we stop because we need to get some feedback. And then we have some guests here, and then we have the yellow traffic light. So based on the yellow traffic light, we need to be a little bit cautious. So if we cannot get feedback from our potential partners or from the ones that have submitted already a successful proposal, we need to stop. Because we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We need to learn from the champions. We need to learn from the ones that have already been successful in this call. So we need to approach them, we need to model them, we need to get feedback. So in order to recapitulate, as I said, one of the key elements, there are many questions that we ask with the 5 fingers technique. With the middle finger, I hope there are not any suspicious thoughts that are getting into your mind with the middle finger. I'm trying to be politically correct here. And what I'm saying is, with the middle finger, we need to ask 3 questions related to who has submitted successfully a proposal in the past, in order to see whether we can identify them and approach them. The second one is who has suggested these work program priorities, in order to contact them, identify what was the reason behind these suggestions, identify the studies that they have used for those suggestions, in order to use them possibly in our own user needs analysis, in our own proposal. And the third question with who is going to evaluate these proposals under this program that are going to be submitted. Can we approach them? Or who has evaluated in the past, because they have some experience? Can we get some feedback out of them? And then some people will ask, but since they are evaluators, isn't there any conflict of interest? Well, first of all, we are talking about experts that have evaluated some projects in the past, not in the future. So at the moment, there is no conflict of interest. But even if you approach some experts that they are going to evaluate some proposals in the current call or in the future, there is no harm on that. I'm also an evaluator. I'm continuously contacted by other potential proposers. If I'm going to cooperate and I'm going to give advice to some of those consortia, some of those proposals, then when I'm engaged as an expert, I'm indicated that I have already collaborated for that proposal and that one, and possibly there is a conflict of interest. Please bear that in mind. So you do understand now that it's very essential to identify whom you're going to connect with in order to receive valuable feedback for your proposal idea, whether this actually call is for you, based on your resources, based on your experience, feedback on the proposal summary, feedback on the consortium, feedback on your approach, feedback on the final draft. I hope you enjoyed this short training. Believe me, it is short, but it's very valuable. 90% of the people that are submitting proposals, they don't ask these essential 3 questions related to who, and they fail. So I don't want you to fail, so make sure that you identify and approach those 3 groups with the who question that you ask. Otherwise, this program, if you answer no, is not for you. You need to find another funding opportunity that you will be able to identify and approach those 3 groups of experts, of people. Thank you for your attention. Until next time, keep up learning, enjoy it, and see you soon.
Hi there, this is Nikolaos Floratos, the founder of Funding Expert Academy. If you like this video, then there are 3 things that you can do. First, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can give you more videos like that in the near future. Secondly, you can register for downloading for free my just released new ebook on Learn from the Champions in Horizon 2020, where it identifies who are the champions in EU funding and what are their habits for becoming so successful. And third, what you need to do is to comment on my blog about this video, what you like, what you didn't like, if you have any questions, and I will be trying to answer all of them personally. Thank you for your attention. Till next time, enjoy life and keep on learning.